Now let's talk about this scamming ass show on TLC called 90 Day Fiancé. 90 Day Fiancé is you either get a fiance, whether you male or female, within 90 days, y'all get married, whether they be overseas or they be in American states. So, mind you, Chantel, this is her whole storyline. Chantel is the whole main character of this 90 Day Fiancé, sitcom. I mean, not sitcom, but reality TV. So she met this dude, Pedro. She wanted to learn Spanish, and she wound up picking up a translator from Dominican Republic. Just so happened his name was Pedro from Dominican Republic. And all of a sudden, she started falling for him, or whatever the case is. So she decided to, book his plane ticket and brought him back to Atlanta, Georgia. So just so happened, they was planning to get married. Once he hit the States, they was already planning to get married. But in all reality, he really didn't care about her. All he really wanted was to get his work permit visa and get his citizenship off of her. She was the come up. So just so happened, his mother and his sister are narcissists, of course. They antagonized her, bullied her, and talked about her. They knew about his supply in DR. They knew about the whole thing. And they kept saying, once you get your paperwork done, divorce her. The mother and the sister. So the whole time they was hating on her. So mind you, Chantel falling head over heels for this dude Pedro from DR. He love bombed her. He gaslighted her. Then he stopped making love to her. Okay? And on top of that, then he discarded her. So this whole 5 seasons, it shows you sequence to sequence of how a narcissist is in role play and how they can play the role until it becomes their motion picture. Okay? So the whole time, he's getting to know the family. They getting acquainted. Next thing you know, they got the wedding going. They get married or whatever. So he love bombed her, kissed her, did everything he was supposed to do to make sure he secured his spot as her husband. So the first year, everything was good. The love bond and gaslight was good. They would go on, little mini trips in Georgia, just be in love. A romantic walk. Simple things that really mattered in their marriage. He just played his role. So now, they have problems. He got problems with his in-laws. She got problems with his in-laws. And they going at it. So the family, Karen is her mother. She's telling her, I don't trust this dude. River, her brother, they all let her know, we don't really like this dude. So they sitting at the table. They invite him over to eat. And all of a sudden, his sister comes from the Dominican Republic. She comes to the States. They invite her over to the house, too, to get to know the family. So Karen was like, you calling my daughter out her name, and they live in their apartment together. So they get in an apartment together when they first started out newlyweds. And, they get into an argument at the table. So he had to stick up for his sister. So he started arguing with the brother, and the brother kind of striked him first. And Pedro kicked him. He pushed him or whatever. So they start fighting in the kitchen, in the dining room or whatever. So he breaks their freaking furniture and throws the food all over the floor, all of that. He's spazzing. So Chantel crying, she all scared, and she like, no, stop. And they trying to break up the fight, but they got their hits over Pedro, though. They wasn't allowing him to hit, their brother River or whatever. So she stayed away from the apartment for a week, and when she came back, he was like, where you been at? She was like, oh, I needed space. I was with my sister or whatever. And so they was talking, and he was like, yo, if you don't get your act together, I'm going to divorce you. This is the first year they married. He's telling her he going to divorce her. How you going to tell her you going to divorce her? You need your citizenship. So boom. They keep going on. So kind of find out the mother and sister don't like her. They scheming against her. So she's flying back and forth to DR to visit him and the mother. And the mother the entire time is in his ear. Hurry up, get your work permit visa. You got to hurry up because you got to bring us to the States. So he's planning on bringing his mother and sister to the States. So finally, she's in nurse school. So he worked at him a little job in the United States with his work permit visa. And then after a while, he went and got his real estate license or whatever, 77-hour real estate license in Georgia. So now he's at the job 6-7 days a week. So kind of find out, Chantel's getting worried, I'm trying to finish nursing school or whatever. I'm on my way out of here to graduation, and Pedro's not coming home no more. He's not making love to me no more, and I want to find out what's going on with him at work. So she pop out to the lunch hour at a bar in Georgia, Atlanta. So he's there drinking or whatever, and they just drinking, parlaying, kiki, laughing, all of that. And as soon as Chantel come walking in, he got the face of, a hatred look in his eyes, and he don't even like her. So she's just looking around, sitting there, and she's wondering what's going on with her husband, what's keeping him at work all the time, and he not coming home like he's supposed to, like a husband like he's supposed to. So she's trying to get to know the co-workers, and they gaslighting her. Oh no, it's not like that. We know about you. This, that, and the third. Okay, cool. So now he's mad at her now. So now he's on a rampage. She really ready to get rid of her now because now she about to get to the business. So now Karen and her mother is on a job. She's investigating this dude. Kind of find out he was dealing with his childhood sweetheart in DR. They were still talking with each other. Then when she go back to DR, she run into a friend of the family called Obey. Obay's putting her on and was like, yeah, this was his come up. He let her know, yeah, he just wanted you to fall in love with him to get the paperwork. He put her on. So she goes to the night bar with Obey, and she find him at the bar. They talking, and now she's telling she's telling his homegirl, his childhood girlfriend, oh yeah, you know, they try to hit me at the family gathering. And then Chantel was like, so what? You hit my brother, and my brother hit you back. You deserve that. So she talking to them in Spanish or whatever. And then Pedro's like, oh, no. So they start arguing outside. They start arguing at the bar. So she left with Obey or whatever. So kind of find out, you know, she sees a video with his supply. And they dancing on the video. So she's like, well, you're not giving me no affection at home. So where is it going? What's happening? Because I'm starting to think that you got erectile dysfunction. So she, you know, going in or whatever. So kind of find out she wanted to fix the marriage. She tried. He was dead, stonewalling her, giving her silent treatment. And then she flew back to DR. She decided to give his mother a gift, some Gucci frames. So he flew back to DR to go get her. So when he was telling her, he said, no, you got to get out of my city. Get out. You got to go. So she like, what are you talking about? Well, let's work out our marriage. She was like, no, I don't want to work nothing now. So by this time, he got his real estate license already. He already got his paperwork going. So now it comes down to the house. The house got to be sold. Being that the paperwork is in the process for the divorce. Why Chantel decides to settle divorce outside of the courtroom instead of taking him to court and coming with the evidence that he cheated on you with his real estate broker? Yeah, the mother already had his whole get down packed. If you want to know about a narc, look at these seasons, 5 seasons of how he love bombed, he gaslight her, you know what I mean? Then he breadcrumbed her. And then after he breadcrumbed her, he gave her the silent treatment, the stonewalled her. Then after that, he discarded her. Okay, he used her the whole time. But he was like, how I used you, I got you through nursing school. What you was supposed to, you was her husband. You know what I mean? You doing your job. So now he's sending money to his mother, his sister. They don't like Chantel. The family don't like his mother and sister. And the mother and sister don't like Chantel, and they don't like their family or whatever, because they keep saying, oh, they American, they don't know our culture, they disrespect our culture, and they just going back and forth. The in-laws have wars. The in-laws is having wars with each other. So she's still in love with Pedro. She's still crying over him, and by the time he decided to, leave out the house, she made sure she cleaned that account out. That's the one thing I said she was smart about, getting that $250,000 out that account. She cleaned that account out. So now he driving. He's trying to find her. Where you at? Pinky. Now you want to call her Pinky now because now she got the money. See, she had him right where she needed him. She had him by the bolas, okay? She had him. She even had him enough where she could drag him to court and prove that he was cheating on her, and he used her for the citizenship where they could red flag his immigration application. But she surrendered at the end, and I'm still mad. I'm like, damn, Chantel, you could have fried him in court like your mother said. Don't give him nothing. You could have got that house, got the whole, commission and all the money for that house. Okay, you would have got the whole amount for the house. But she decided to surrender and give him half of the money of the house. Why did you do that, girl? I'm still disappointed in her because she surrendered. And I'm still a little disgruntled with her about that. Because he ain't deserved nothing. He was just using you. You already saw how he tried to stonewall you and give you silent treatment. Then you found out he was sleeping with his real estate broker. No wonder he was having all those houses under the contracts. And George, she gave him all the deals just so she can get a commission. Of course, that's what you're supposed to do as a realtor and a broker. But let me tell you something. If y'all want to see how a narc works and operates and functions, watch this show. And I'm telling you, dealing with them, you got to understand the art of war. He's going only out for himself and his mother and sister. And he was gunning for her. He even had criminal activity going on, breaking into the house, stealing her stuff, sending it back to DR. He was just mad, shiesty, and grimy at the end. Okay, he was only out for himself. Watch this show. The season is over. She's getting ready to come back with a single life reality TV, and I'm glad to see her happy. But hopefully, she's still not ruminating over Pedro, because her closure was supposed to be taking him to court and taking him from every dime. He would have got none of that money for that house. I would have gave him nothing. He would have came in to the U.S. I'm glad you got your citizenship, Papa. But guess what? I'm taking all my dineros with me, cucaracha. Period. But she surrendered at the end. Keep coming back, more to be revealed.